barbecue assassin. Barbecue assassin assistant. This is Charlie, my barbecuing assistant. She comes with me on all of my barbecuing gigs. I think she knows a bit more than I do, but she definitely helps out, that's for sure. Yeah, barbecue assassin. Are you a barbecue assassin? I'm Jason Saville with Charles Real Estate, and it is nice to meet you. I mean, thanks for meeting up. I mean, we're smoking meat. We are doing a barbecue pulled pork. Well, not barbecue, but smoked pulled pork tacos today. Yeah, the reason why we're doing this for Christmas is it is a marriage saver, basically, is what it is. You do like one big thing of pulled pork, and you can put that thing in anything. I mean, we're talking, we got pulled pork tacos, we got pulled pork baked potato, pulled pork on corn, we got pulled pork on cornbread, pulled pork charcuterie, pulled pork ice cream. Don't knock it till you try it. Pulled pork on waffles. You could do pulled pork on pasta. You could do pulled pork on just about anything. You could bacon wrap pulled pork if you wanted to do bacon wrap pulled pork. So we like to do up a big thing of pulled pork, and then we'll freeze it. You just pull it out real easy and quick. You get a ton of people coming over and you want to do some snacks. Perfect. You pull out the pulled pork, put it on crackers, put it on whatever. You can do little mini sliders. You could do a bunch of different stuff. So when people just show up unannounced, or you forgot to mention that there's going to be a bunch of people coming over to your wife, this is the perfect way to save your marriage. When I turned 35, I was told I had to either get heavily into World War II trivia or smoking meats. And obviously I turned to smoking meats, and don't ask me any World War II trivia because I got nothing. Cool story though is my grandfather was in the war, and we actually went to one of the beaches where he landed in Sicily during World War II, which is kind of cool. Brought back some sand to that. But yeah, other than that, that's all I know. So obviously I got into smoking meat, and yeah, just something that we do around Christmas, and just a great tradition. And yeah, a marriage saver for sure. So why don't we get into it? And hopefully you guys got a bib on, because you're gonna be drooling and it's gonna be delicious. All right, let's get to it. So what we're gonna do is put together my world famous butt rub. Now we call it a butt, it's just a joke, but it's what we're using is the pork butt, or pork shoulder is what they call it. I don't know why they call it a pork butt. Maybe somebody in the comments can let me know as to why that is, but world famous sauce or rub here is, hold that thought, my dog wants outside. Be right back. There you go, bud. Okay. Anyways, so the ingredients are, before I do that, they just go into like a shaker of some sort, this mason jar setup with this cool lid you can get. I have no idea where this came from. It was clients of mine, Cassie and Kyle Donald. Big shout out to you guys for this, and the beautiful apron as well. All of this is just equal parts. Oh geez, this is gonna be. If you're not making a mess, are you really cooking, honestly? 2 teaspoons of kosher salt as well. We've got fresh ground pepper, fresh cracked ground pepper here. And that's my dog. He wants back in, be right back. And then for the last one, I've got it's roasted red garlic and pepper, roasted pepper and red garlic. Roasted red pepper and garlic, and just stick that into mason jar, mixing jar, or something like that, something that you can shake out afterwards. Just give her a shake, shake. Anybody else have songs that come on in their head while they're cooking and doing other things? My wife says I just talk to myself all day long. Okay, so we'll set this stuff aside here. Tacos, we do tacos, you know, pulled pork tacos, lots of things. I'll go through a list here later, but we do a little bit of just regular French's yellow mustard. And just give her a good squirt. Excuse me, sorry. Pardon me. Looks like we're out of that. Good thing I got another one here. Just a little bit of mustard on here. Doesn't need to be a crazy amount. And I just use a baster just to kind of spread it around. I've done the rub without mustard. It doesn't really impart a ton of flavor, but I do like it. And everyone that I've done pulled pork for seems to like, not that I did like a blind tasting or anything like that, but they seem to like it better with the mustard on. It doesn't really add that mustard flavor. So if you don't like mustard, don't worry about it. It just is a way to get the yummy goodness on there. All right, so basically you just want to cover every little bit of it. And I mean every bit. So you want to make sure there's just no mustard showing, basically. And so on these edges like this, I'll just take the, there we go. I'll take the baster and just kind of help it along like this. There we go. Don't worry about getting messy. Remember, if you're not messy, you're not barbecuing. You're not cooking. I'll have a cookbook out here later this year. No, I'm just kidding. Basically, you want it so that it covers everything, and then you just give it a bit of a pat just to kind of like get it into the mustard, just to hold on there. So you can give that a flip over. I like to plan ahead, so typically I will have the fattier side of the pork shoulder up when I'm cooking it on the smoker, because it just kind of like all the juices kind of flow through it that way. One side note that I forgot to mention is I do cut off a lot of the fat. Usually they'll come with like a big strap of fat around it. I usually cut that off. I want to keep it within like, you know, kind of 3/16, eighth of an inch of fat on it. It's okay to have some stuff on there. It's okay to leave if you do get the shoulder in, it's okay to leave that in there. When you're doing pulled pork, trust me, that'll just fall right out. There we go. This is just going to sit right on the smoker. Now usually you want to set the smoker at about 225. If it's a bit colder out, you want to set it maybe a bit hotter. I'll usually throw it on at about 9 o'clock in the morning. Cooks for about 6 hours. Then you want to let it rest before you kind of pull it apart. Throw the shoes on, and of course let the dog out. So I've got a Pit Boss pellet smoker. I use a competition blend, it's called. There's a bunch of different manufacturers of it, but honestly, apple, cherry, any of that stuff will work. Before I throw it on there, I always like to have a tray of water. I'll throw some more water in there, but that just helps to keep the temperature more consistent in there, and it keeps the meat from drying out. So basically, just take it with your butt gloves, of course, throw it on in the center here, and I like to have two different probes. So we'll stick one in one side, one on the other, kind of away from the shoulder bone if you do have it, because that'll heat up a lot and it'll give a false reading. Basically, you sit back and you watch the football game and you wait till it hits 205. I guess the next thing is going to be the sauce. Oh, whose idea was it for 2 teaspoons of this? Oh, it's very aromatic. I don't think I'm going to sneeze here. Okay, I think that's good enough for that. When you are really into spices but not wanting to organize them, here you go. Teaspoon. There we go, teaspoon. It's funny that you don't see like a coffee spoon, you know, like in a measurement, you got teaspoon, but no coffee spoon. Go figure. Chili pow, 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 pow. If you see me stepping awkwardly, it's because I'm stepping over my dog. He likes to help in the kitchen. He's exceptionally helpful. Okay, so while the pork shoulder, pork butt, whatever you want to call it, is cooking away there, getting all yummy and delicious, We're going to do my world famous barbecue sauce. Depending on how much you're doing, use a small pot. Over here on the stove. Here, hold on, we're gonna have to redo that because I forgot an ingredient. Take two. While the pork shoulder is doing its thing over there and getting all delicious and ready to save your marriage, we will do my world famous barbecue sauce. This happened over many years of trial and error, and I'm going to share the secrets of it with you right now. Basically, I mean, there's no secret here as to the portioning size. I just use the whole container. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my dog. He likes to play while we're chase a ball, all that kind of stuff while we're working in the kitchen too. 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of fresh ground black pepper. Oh my goodness. Just give me a sec. Oh, that was really stuck on there. I'll usually do about, I don't know, kind of a 1/4 cup-ish of this, but for me, it's just bingo bango. There you go. Throw it on the stove and just whisk it up. Listen, like, if you don't do Pico, do you even taco? Know what I mean? You know what I'm tacoing about? Sorry. So you just kind of see as you go, and make sure you get kind of the green part of it off like that. Knock that in there, because I don't like to cut directly on, squeeze the lime juice into it. Quick little stir up here. Like, if you didn't work out and you wanted some big forearms, these pepper grinders, I'm telling you. There you go, fresh Pico, pineapple Pico de Gallo for your tacos. Well, it looks like we are finished. It finished about 205 to 210 Fahrenheit, depending on kind of the meat and your setup and stuff like that. I usually do 2 probes, one on the machine and one just a different manufacturer, just so I know, because they're kind of out by a couple of degrees. But the best way to know is the fork test. So pull this bad boy off here, pull these probes out, and I got my butt gloves is what they're called. They're actually, the brand name is butt gloves, for smoking pork and what have you. They are fire resistant and they're somewhat waterproof too. So you do a fork test, you pull at the meat, and if it starts to shred like that, nice and easy, oh man, that right there, that's pulled pork goodness right there. Let's go. Okay, well, we'll get ready to take this off and we'll take it into the kitchen there to get it all shredded up. Can't wait. Okay, next it is time to pull this delicious pork aside. We basically just take your 2 forks and just start shredding. Just basically shred the gnar, yo. It's from my surfing days, snowboarding days. I like to make sure like the crust and everything that has developed is kind of spread throughout, so you get that flavor going throughout. There we go. Oh my god, that's wicked. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna beat this. Basically just bring out a bunch of this bad boy. Put a bit of this into it. Add a little au jus in there. Now this is how you know you're really into making tacos. We've got a taco holder. My dog's at my feet right here because he knows where all the food gets dropped. Smart dog. Oh, what's a pig's favorite movie? A Karate Chop one. Oh, I screwed that up so bad, didn't I? Yes, I did. What's a pig's favorite karate movie? Screwed it up again. What the heck is that? What's a pig's favorite karate movie? Pork chop. I never open emails about canned pork. I'm pretty sure it's spam. What do you call a cow with only 2 legs? Lean beef. What do you call a cow sitting on the floor? Ground beef. Beautissimo! There we go. So you can see how it's like just started to brown a little bit and bubble like that. And I know there's gonna be some haters that are like, tacos can't be done like that, but trust me, they are delicious. Oh, it's so hot. So hot. Now, there's probably going to be a bit of an argument as to whether you put the pulled pork on the bottom or put the pico on the bottom. Personally, I'm a pulled pork on the bottom. It's always the meat on the bottom, whether it's the taco meat or the pork meat. But if you're on the other side, honestly, we're very accepting here. So if you like to do the pico first, you go right ahead. Basically, just toss a bit in the bottom. And if you're like me, I am an overstuffer. I have zero idea on portion control when it comes to stuffing tacos. Yeah. And then the pico. And this is great on crackers too. Like you could do the same thing. You could do like little sliders with the pulled pork and pico. Pineapple pico. Say that 10 times. Pineapple pico, pineapple pico, pineapple. Not happening. All right, last thing to do, taste test. You ready for this? Oh my goodness, wowzers. Okay, that's the best one yet, so, oh, that is delicious. If you need me, I'll just be here eating these. And dripping everywhere. All right, well, and I'm sure I've got it all over my face, so look at that. I did it messy, did it right. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Merry Christmas. Oh my goodness, okay. That was really good and really messy.